Hello Toy Collector fans, Universal Toy Collector here and welcome to the channel. Join me, if you will, for another walk and talk. Now I know I said the other day when I did one of these videos that these would be few and far between. That will be the case. The reason I'm doing this one today is because I have time to do it. I'll be back at work as of next Tuesday. So I thought I'd do another ramble. But yeah, just to start the video, again, just to thank everybody for their continued support, whether you are subscribed to the channel, whether you watch the videos all the way through or not, whether you leave a comment, whether you like the videos. It is all very much appreciated. So once again, sincerely, thank you very much for that. So when I came down here the other day, I was walking in the opposite direction. I came up from that direction. This time I'm going to be heading off down the canal. It's probably a good, I don't know, 5 or 6 miles before I reach my destination. So it's a fair old trek. Don't worry, I'm not going to ramble and have you listen all that time. So I will be filming intermittently, and yeah, so this is the path we came down the other day. Let's get up there. There you are. So I came from that direction and had headed back down that direction. This time we're going this way. So the purpose of this video, again, got a couple of things I want to discuss and probably get your thoughts as well. As always, interested in your thoughts and opinions and how you guys go about doing things. So I've just recently finished redecorating my collection room, and to my dismay I found out that now I've rejigged it around, I really don't have the room to display what I used to be able to display before I decorated it, which is no hardship, I guess. So basically that's given me the opportunity to sort through my collection and take down the things that I feel I no longer need to display, and that's basically my 5 POA figures. Now the vintage Cannon-Stroke Palitoy figures and vehicles playsets, they will remain. They are the focal point of my collection. They are my main childhood memories, so they will be staying. And as you've seen in the collection tour video, they are in pride of place in my collection. Now the rest of the figures, 5 POA, I've kept a select few, mainly the army builders, which are the Imperials and the First Order. But the rest of them, the rest of the figures, I've had to take down and put away into a little storage container. So my dilemma now is, what do I do with those figures? Do I keep them and wait until I have a bigger place and display them again? Or do I say, well, they don't really serve too much of a purpose, so I will sell them. Again, this is really beautiful countryside, really lovely down here, peaceful, really nice area. So again, lucky to have this right on my doorstep. But yeah, now being a collector, I'm not in it for the value of things. Yes, I do have things that are valuable, but I wouldn't sell them really at any price because they are priceless to me. and I like my collection. I'm not one of these who is in it for the money. So the bits that I do have to sell, if I sell them, are 5 POA and some of the 5 POA vehicles, mainly from Rebels, Solo, Rogue One, and I think I've got one of those speeder things from The Last Jedi. Now, in a nutshell, they are worth absolutely bugger all. I went into an entertainer the other day and they are selling carded 5 POA figures for £1.50. So now mine are open, they're going to be worth diddly squat. As a job lot, yeah, I could probably get a little bit of money, but so my dilemma is, do I sell them, move them on, or do I stick tight, keep them and display them at a later date? Because I do have a soft spot for 5 POA figures, but yeah, I know Tim from Boss Bounty, he said to me that he moves stuff on, and that's fine. Everybody does that. I've moved stuff on in the past. I've moved on my Action Force Z Force collection and my Action Force SAS collection. Now I know all collectors suffer the same thing, as in shortage of finances and shortage of space, which is an issue we all have to endure. But I just curious to know as to what you guys do when you're out of space, more so than out of money. I mean, that's pretty obvious. If you're short on funds, you just stop buying for a while. That's fairly simple. But then again, I guess if you're short of space, you stop buying as well. But some of us, we do continue buying. Do you rotate things around? Do you move things on? I'd be really curious to know. And another thing that is on my mind is, what will our collections be like in 20 years' time? You know, I mean, you look at the vintage Star Wars vehicles and figures, they've stood the test of time. I mean, you know, they're over 40 years old now, some of those figures. Some of them are in a really good condition. They've been looked after. They display well. Can we say the same for the current toy lines, like the Master of the Universe Origins? What they're going to be like in 20 years' time? What the vintage collection figures going to be like in 20 years' time? That interests me. That really does interest me. I mean, a lot of figures now are, well, say mass produced. That's not really the case, is it? I mean, some of them are really hard to get hold of because they sell out on pre-orders and stuff like that, or whatever. But yeah, you know, what will our collections be like in 20 years' time, in 40 years' time? I mean, if you're looking at it from a monetary point of view, in my opinion, I think the Star Wars vintage kind of figures, vehicles and playsets, I think they'll hold their money, because you can't really get them anymore. And those of us that do have it or have them, you know, they're in, some of them are in, like I say, pretty good condition, but they're not making these anymore. Yes, they're doing the retro line, but it's not the same, is it? Not the same. Wow, pretty puffed already. I've been walking at a fair pace to try and get to my destination within a decent time. I've done this walk before, and I can normally do it within an hour and a half. So if I look at it like this, 2 halves of football, 45 minutes each way, I used to be able to do that. Christ, I can't even run a bath these days without getting tired, so it's one of my ways of getting my cardio in. I mean, job wise, it's quite a well, I'd say strenuous, it's a kind of demanding job. Physically, it's repetitive in the sense that it's the same movements, it's the same things day in, day out. You get a bit of variation, I guess, depending on what I'm doing, but predominantly I'm doing the same thing day in, day out. So cardio wise, it's more of a physical muscle aches and stuff like that with my job, as opposed to the old ticker pumping fast and pumping the blood around the body. I don't do enough cardio. That's why I've decided to go for this walk today, because I have the time. So yeah, back to my point. What do you guys think about collections? Where will your collection be in 20 years time? I would say that 10 years time. You know, it's interesting to see the action figure grader, and I was messaging him the other day, and he was saying about the prices of the, I think it was the what was it I was watching? Oh god, one of his videos, and people are still buying these figures for excessive amounts of money. I mean, you're looking at £600 plus for carded figures. I mean, are those figures going to be really worth that in 20 years time? I mean, we're using a different plastic to what we used back then. We're using a recyclable plastic. Is that going to hold up on the card? Are the plastics in the figures, are they going to hold up? Are they going to not deteriorate? All these questions and stuff like that. That is why, as a collector, I never collect for value. I collect for the love of collecting, and I collect because I enjoy it. Like I said, yes, I do have some bits that are valuable, but those bits are a few and far between in money sense. But the majority of my collection is valuable. It's valuable to me because I've collected it. I've wanted it, and I don't buy generally to sell on. Even though I was contemplating selling my 5 POA figures, and if I do sell those, it will probably be somewhere like a car boot or something like that. Because, like I say, I'm not going to get too much for that financially, which is okay. I mean, to be fair, I didn't really spend too much on them. I got them while they were cheap. They never were overly expensive, and it's quite refreshing. It's a throwback to see those cards in Entertainer, or those figures in Entertainer for £1.50. I mean, we weren't paying much more than that back in the 80s for vintage Kenner Star Wars figures or G.I. Joe figures. It just goes to show how much inflation's gone up and the price of things have gone up and stuff like that, which is ridiculous. But yeah, as always, interested to hear your thoughts for sure. So another thing that's I've been thinking about is channel content. Now, again, I know I'm a fairly new channel, so I'm okay with that. Humble beginnings and all that malarkey. But I don't want to be sort of in a position where all I'm doing is unboxing videos and unopening figures. I mean, I know I've still got like shitloads of boxes to unopen, and that's on me really, because I've left it for so long. But I've been thinking, I've got a couple of other ideas that I'm gonna think about a little bit more. I do the monthly live stream with Scuba Pete. That's absolutely fantastic. And if it wasn't for him, in all honesty, you know, I wouldn't be doing YouTube at all. You know, like I say, I've got a collection and I like talking about action figures and collections and stuff like that. And he was the one who sort of encouraged me to get back onto social media, especially in the collecting on the collecting side of things. So, you know, I've got a lot of thanks and respect for Scuba for doing the live stream with me. So obviously the first couple weren't great, a lot of technical issues, and still have technical issues, but there you go, that's part and parcel of it, I guess. I can look back now and have a little chuckle at some of the things that have gone wrong, but you know, my aim is to obviously get better technically and make sure that I do the checks properly before we go live streaming. And the amount of times where I've done my collecting life and we start chatting and they can hear me and I can't hear them, and I keep saying, no, it's not me, and then I check to see that I haven't connected my headphones. So as soon as I do that, obviously I can hear people. So we spend about 5-10 minutes before we actually get down chatting, trying to figure out what the problem is, and it's 10 out of 10 times it's me. So excuse me, I need to be more savvy when it comes to that sort of thing. So make sure I hook up properly, make sure everything's connected properly, and not blame everybody else. And there you are. But like I say, we'll get there. And with regards to my collecting life, I've got episode 9 coming out. Well, by the time this video is up on YouTube, episode 9 would have been put up onto YouTube. But I've got episode 10 coming out this week, which is great. I mean, you know, it's a small milestone for me. You know, like I said before, I didn't think I'd get past episode 1, 2, possibly 3. I didn't have any targets, but I've reached episode 10, which for me is fantastic. Really happy about that. And a lot of people seem to like my collecting life. It's a good way to get to know people and get the community involved, for sure. Yeah, it's definitely a series that is for everybody in the regards of, you don't have to have a YouTube channel to come on and chat and showcase your display and chat about your collection and stuff like that. And you know, I've said before, I find it really interesting. It's a good way to get to know people, and the people I've had on my collecting life so far have all been top banana. They've been great. So I'd appreciate the time that they've given up to take part and be involved. So I can't thank you enough for that. And as a thank you, the next episode 10, which should be airing later this week, I have changed the intro. So instead of the usual Universal Toy Collector intro, I've now changed it to a My Collecting Life intro, and I've managed to get that sorted out. So hopefully by the time episode 10 airs, it will have a new intro, and it's a thank you really to the first 10 people that have done the series, because like I say, really appreciate it. And again, I have Tim from Bosk's Bounty to thank, really, because at the end of the first 3 episodes, I think I was putting at the end of the video, if you want to be involved in an episode, then give me a buzz. Now, Tim kindly spoke to me after we did our episode, or his episode, should I say, and he was saying, no, you don't want to be asking people to contact you. You contact them, reach out to them. And I have done, and I can't thank you enough, Tim. That was pretty sound advice. Everybody so far that I've asked or reached out to has said yes, they would be like to be involved. I think I'm now booked up to episode 17, which is fantastic. There have been a couple of people that I've asked and they've respectfully declined. Now, again, I'm fine with that. It's not everybody's cup of tea, and not everybody wants to be shown on YouTube, and I totally understand that, so I don't have any problem with that at all. Like I say, it's not everybody's cup of tea, but for those of you that are interested in doing it, again, thank you in advance. And yeah, I don't have any set numbers for the episode or for the series. I don't have a target. I guess at some point it will need freshening up. It's quite a simple format. It seems to be working at this moment in time. Like I say, long may that continue. But at some point I know that things will need to freshen up. But so far, so good. And apart from the intro change, things will generally remain the same. And I will keep the same format. Yeah, so back to the point of content. So I've got the live stream with Scuba Pete once a month. I have the now weekly series of my collecting life, and then I throw in the occasional. It's been pretty much unboxings and figure displays and stuff like that. And then I've got the 4 parts of the collection tour. So another idea that I have swirling around my noggin is doing a live stream. It won't be every week. It will probably be fortnightly, because then that fits in with my pattern of work. So my work patterns will be next week I'll be on lates, and then the following week I'll be on earlies, and then that rotates weekly. So I need to find something that's going to fit in with my work pattern. So fortnightly live stream is on the cards. Now I have spoken to people and they said they'd be interested in joining. So whether the main focus of the live stream will be Star Wars related, who knows? It could well be. I mean, it's a line that everybody, and a franchise that everybody seems to know and like. And I know BOE has said that he'd be interested in doing a live stream again. Bless him. The guy is so knowledgeable. He is like an encyclopedia when it comes to Star Wars, especially the vintage Kenner collection and the vintage Kenner line. He's such a top guy. So much respect for the guy. In fact, I've got a lot of respect for a lot of the people that do YouTube channels. It's not easy. Not easy to find content. It's not easy to come up with something new, and there's a lot of hard work goes into it. Believe you me, I didn't realise how time consuming it can be, but it's enjoyable. So fair play to everybody that does a YouTube channel. Doesn't matter whether you've got 100k subscribers, whether you a small channel starting out. Respect to everybody, and everybody starts somewhere. So, but yeah, so back to my point. So there's that on the cards, and also I was thinking of doing something completely different. I was still going to be keeping my name, but I've been inspired by Chris Mewa from Chasing 80s Toys, and changing the subject again. I am inspired by a lot of these people that are on YouTube. Scuba Pete, even though he doesn't have his own channel, he's inspiring because he likes to get involved. He's a pillar of the community. He's a top guy. Chris Mewa, again. Bob Hansen, Gojitron, Dave C from Straight from the Pit. What a lovely guy he is. Tim from Bosk's Bounty, again, top guy, very knowledgeable with the vintage collection, Star Wars, as is Only One Kenobi. And then you've got John Reeder from the Action Figure Grader. I've not spoken to him like face to face, but I've messaged him a couple of times, and again, you know, he knows his stuff. And then of course, as I've mentioned, BOE, and there's others. If I've not mentioned your name, then I apologise. You can hear the sound of the motorway or the A road in the background there, breaking the silence. I do like my peace and quiet. But yeah, so I get inspired by a lot of people, and Chris has inspired me because he does a lot of castle visits, and stuff like that. So I quite like history. I like looking around old buildings and stuff like that. So I'm thinking maybe do a series on churches in the local area. Now, I'm not a religious person by any means, and I'm not knocking those that are. Again, that's their faith, religion, that's their belief. I'm totally okay with that. It's not my cup of tea, but I can appreciate the beauty of a decent looking church with the architecture and the format inside and stuff like that. So I might do a series on, say, local churches, local to my area anyway. I don't want to be travelling miles and miles, and just showing them from the outside. And if I'm allowed to show inside, then I will. And then just having a look at some of the beautiful architecture and stuff like that. I don't know whether that be something people would be interested in, but it's worth a punt to try and keep the channel fresh, to try and do different things. This, if I do this series, they will be very few and far between, possibly once a month, maybe. The main reason I'm doing the YouTube channel is for collections and to mix with the toy collecting community. And if I can throw something a little bit different in every now and again, then why not? Okay, so come to a bit of a flooded bit there. Brilliant. There's nowhere for me to cross, so it looks like I'm going to be taking a run and jump. So wish me luck, people. When I was a kid at school, I used to love the long jump, so I'm hoping in my old age that I can manage to clear this. Alright, shitting hell. Alright, here we go. Oh. I'm glad I'm wearing boots, but yeah, brilliant. Whew. Okay, yeah, made that. A little bit wet, a little bit of a splash, but yeah, I'm impressed with that. Sign me up for the Olympics. Awesome. So yeah, another idea. Oh, just to let you know, I'm pretty much well over halfway now. So I have been putting on some pace as I'm walking. I'm not just ambling today. I'm walking with a purpose. But yeah, another idea is probably to show more of the countryside where I live. I mean, so far I've just limited myself to the canal either way, but we do have some really lovely walks around the area that I live, so maybe that might be something that could interest people, show a bit of the English countryside. I mean, you know, politically, the way this country's going, I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I hate politics. Don't want to touch too much on it, but for me, politics, they ruin everything. Politics in sport. Sport isn't about politics. It's, yes, be diverse, not an issue with that. Be inclusive, not an issue with that. Keep politics out of sport. Keep politics out of movies as well. The Oscars. I hate the Oscars. I fucking hate the Oscars. What a load of shit they are now. The Oscars should be where you celebrate film and what you've achieved within that year. And that should be a celebration of film. Not standing up on stage and spouting your political bullshit. And hat off to Ricky Gervais for the way he absolutely roasted Hollywood back in 2020. Fair play to him. Utmost respect. And my respect went up for him big time with that. So keep politics out of sports. Keep politics out of the movies. Yes, be diverse. Don't have an issue with that. But keep politics out of sport and movies. But yeah, so back to my point. The UK and the area that I live in has some fantastic countryside. So maybe I can just like do a film where I'm walking around and just showing the countryside. And sometimes I might walk around and have a little chit chat while I'm walking around and touch base with you guys about how things are and whatnot. But on the whole, we'll see how that pans out and see how it goes. So I'm really getting close to the main road there, the main A road that cuts through this area. Just past those trees, on the other side of those trees and shrubbery. So yeah, that's probably gonna be it for today's video. Again, I've just aired some thoughts on possible content, and really to get some feedback from you guys. I know a lot of the time you put what you like up on YouTube, and I will continue to put what I like up on YouTube, the things that I like anyway. But if people have any suggestions as to what they would possibly like to see, or how you can keep the channel fresh, then I'm open to suggestions, definitely. You know, like I say, I'm still new to all this YouTube, but regardless of how the channel pans out, 6 months time, a year's time, I am still enjoying doing what I'm doing, and I'm enjoying being part of the toy collecting community. And for me, that is the main thing. Yeah, I really can't think of too much else to say, to be honest, on that matter. So with that will be a wrap for this video. So yeah, calling it a day soon. Just get a look at the lock over there. Awesome. So I'm gonna finish the video on the bridge. So again, if you are new to the channel, feel free to comment, like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell to let you know of more content. And as always, there will be more content. Again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much for watching. Appreciate your support, and we shall see you in the next video. And by the way, I am absolutely fucking knackered. My legs are killing me. That was a long walk. Anyway, take care and see you soon.